So hey guys, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be discussing whether or not hairstylists have lost their damn minds. Now, I wanted to do this video a while ago, and I'm glad I waited because so many popular and personal examples keep occurring dealing with today's hairstylists. And this video is specific to hairstylists, but I think we can generalize these service providers in the beauty industry because a lot of it is synonymous with one another. So lash techs, nail techs, makeup artists, clothing designers, pretty much everybody that's contributing to the in-your-face world of vanity that we live in. So I did this PSA on my Instagram story about a month ago. If you're not following me on Instagram, you can with the link in my description box, but follow me at VQueenChioma on Instagram. I definitely do a lot of good rants and y'all be loving it, so I'm gonna keep them up. I like to go on rants on Instagram sometimes, and not bad ones that are deep fried negativity, but just random rants of thoughts that I have. So it's easy for me to do these commentary videos about random topics because my mind is always racing with different opinions and ideas. So I'm going to reference my Instagram story. It started off with a viral tweet that said, "No, really, can we discuss what is happening to the black hair business? Can we talk about why stylists are getting lazier but more expensive? I just saw a $300 quick weave service, hair not included, but you had to buy your hair from her, and wash and blow dry with a braid down is extra." So I then followed up and said, "Don't let me start this rant because I will go on for hours and hours and hours and hours." Anyway, but about how much I think a lot of hairstylists have lost their minds in 2022. A quick weave should not cost over $100. A closure quick weave is a maximum $120 in my opinion. It's glued hair to a cap and it lasts 2 weeks. I continued by saying that post struck a nerve. Please don't get me started. Social media has ruined hairstyling and a lot of y'all don't even wash and blow dry hair before the service. If the client is doing half the work, you have no business asking for higher prices. Y'all gonna stop this "my price is going up" BS because under what merit though? Because you said so? No included extra services, no upgraded equipment, no salon servicing, no wash and blow dry, no additional hair treatments, no changes to your business at all, just raising your prices because social media told y'all to quote unquote get a bag and quote unquote yesterday's price is not today's price. Y'all have got to stop the madness, okay? But let me shut up. As y'all can tell, I don't like this social media era of business and brand owners. I'm not doing a rant today, but maybe on my YouTube channel because I've been peeping this for months. So here's that video. I didn't go on a full-blown rant on Instagram like some of my other stories that y'all may enjoy if you follow me, but I definitely want to bring this to YouTube because this is a problem. And I've already done a video about this before, but if the solution hasn't been solutioned, then we need to keep talking about it until one comes about. I have an idea as to why I think this is really happening, and it's a pretty obvious reason that may be going over a lot of our heads because of the times that we're living in. With that being said, I've broken this video down into one overall main talking point, so without further ado, let's get right into this video. So my overall main talking point is yes, hairstylists have lost their damn minds. And no offense to any of the good quality and integrity-based hairstylists that may be watching, but I'm pretty sure that even hair care professionals themselves can agree that a lot of these new age practices are simply absurd. And I think we as consumers, clients, customers, and anybody interested in the world of beauty have the right to express our grievances. Because what has been happening is that the list of cons or the list of malpractice is growing longer and longer. So this may include the pricing for certain services, the quality of the service, the overall salon experience, and the method of booking, the rules and regulations for booking, the requirements for prep to get certain styles, and many other categories that I'm sure I can spend a whole video coming up with. I think everybody has had a bad experience at one point, but many of us have opted to do our own hair or have found a solid hairstylist, but still at the very least know and understand that currently a lot of hairstylists have lost their mind. So with the initial Twitter post about a quick weave being $300, which is completely absurd, I've also been noticing the skyrocketing prices on a lot of cosmetic services. And I don't think the issue is that clients don't want to pay or they want to go to cheaper people for lower quality work. I think that's a myth that a lot of stylists may say and tell themselves to differentiate the types of clients that they get. But the reality is the average woman who cares about what they look like or has an interest in vanity and prioritizes her looks will spend money on getting her hair done or whatever it is. Whether it might cost her $500 or even more, women are willing to spend that money. The women that aren't don't come to the salon to get their hair done. Of course, occasionally you have those situations where people run off on a stylist or try to get over or feel as though they paid too much for terrible quality work, but women will spend that money on hair. And the problem now is the pricing for a lot of these services, including the attitudes of the stylist and all of the rules and regulations and all of these different things have gotten to a point where people deserve to complain. So within the Twitter thread, there were several people who were expressing their grievances with this new age of hairstyling. So looking at some of the Instagram comments, I wanted to read a few. One user says, "I'm all for charging your worth, but it's really getting out of hand. Some of these new quote-unquote stylists have no business etiquette, no customer service skills, and don't provide the full hairdresser experience without inconveniencing their clients. The industry has took a turn for the worse." Another user says, "I'm not doing it. I refuse. I would rather eat a jean jacket. The girls are not certified and customer service be subpar. I'll pay the price if the work and service match." This other person wrote, "My friend said they learned it from the white stylist, but people pay it. The market can shift those prices down if people stop paying." And then the next user, who was actually a hairstylist, said, "It's mainly these new stylists. Too many of them never been to school and just do hair, which is okay for some things, but I would never. Hashtag licensed cosmetologist. Hashtag I still shampoo hair. They are going up on the prices and down on the quality. The braids that are being done for sew-ins are ridiculous. LOL. Give you dookie braids and quickly sew the hair on top." Someone else said, "This is why I stay on YouTube University." And lastly, one user said, "And this is why you should go to licensed beauticians. You get full service and not these outrageous prices and rules," which personally, I truly agree with. So I want to know why this is happening. I want to know why we keep having these issues with hairstylists. And the reality is, once again, for the umpteenth time, we are in the era of social media stylists. Hairstylists are not just the beauticians that are locally known in their own personal beauty parlor or inside a salon of a well-respected hairstylist in your city. Hairstylists are now social media influencers like everyone else. And by everyone else, I mean YouTubers are influencers who are really regular people. There are certain dancers in all types of dance that are influencers now. You have random people that just have a following that is big enough to consider themselves an influencer. You have these rapper girlfriends who are influencers. Everybody has some type of influencer quality to them today, and everyone is desiring to live up to an influencer. This influencer culture has really jaded so many people by them straying away from actual work ethic and business integrity. So the stylists are overcharging you because they have a Range Rover and have to make that car payment, or they went viral on TikTok and now have hello followers and feel as though they need to keep up with the Joneses, and their prices are going to reflect that. What happens when you give people clout and money? They try to maintain their money by doing the least amount of work possible. It's the old but very simple ideology of going or acting Hollywood. And because the clicks and the likes, the favorites, the reposts and the shares, the views are giving so many of these stylists this level of celebrity and exposure, even if it's minuscule, it's reflecting in their work and then in their pricing. I think social media is really the reason for the deterioration of the quality of life overall. Although I think it's fine and it's modern, its side effects are showing that there's more negativity to it than we want to admit. And in the world of beauty, you always want more clients or new clients or a clientele. In any business, you want a clientele. You want loyal customers as well as new customers who will spread the word about whatever you're selling or doing. Due to social media, there are select hairstylists who have made a name for themselves and can be revered as social media icons. My younger sister and I used to watch the show LA Hair when we were in high school, and I think that was the beginning of the social media hairstylist. Although Kim Kimble is very well respected in the hair game and literally is one of the greatest at what she does, I think televising the hair world, and especially the black hair world, was really the beginning of hairstylists trying to become synonymous to celebrities. Kim Kimble gave us a glimpse of salon life, the drama that goes on, the opportunities that her stylists were able to acquire. However, they had celebrity clientele that came in. There were shows and other experiences that people got to see, and all of those hairstylists kind of made a name for themselves even outside of the show and even became known figures in the hair world. That show ran for 5 seasons, and I thought it was a great show. I actually truly liked it. The characters were always funny or unique, but I loved watching it for the hair as well. So the show ended in 2017. However, that was the surge of an influencer becoming monetized, and because YouTube is a platform that has a beauty genre that is heavily revered, I think that's when the intertwining started to take place. I think hairstyling used to be a secretive thing in regards to like how to get your curls to look a certain way, or how to lay down the wig, or how to neatly part your hair or whatever. But YouTube allowed for regular individuals as well as professional hairstylists to share their tips and become known for their work. And then add in the compensated components like money, brand trips, and the ability to teach a class and gain thousands, the ability to have a big social media page. We now see that hairstylists have shifted their focus in having a big clientele or a big social media presence versus doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is doing hair. Of course, we're not talking about all hairstylists, but I do think that there are so many hairstylists that don't fall into these categories, but practice these principles. They practice raising their prices for no reason. They practice thinking that they need to be in these big name salons or just being in a major salon. They practice doing less work for the same or more profit. Like, when did washing and blow drying hair become something that hairstylists did not do? I just don't know when this ship came in. Like, I don't ship it at all. I always remember when it came to my natural hair, it got washed, conditioned, a treatment, and a blow dry. My explanation is that because of the need for money to keep up with the Joneses and appear to be in the upper echelon of people, they don't have the time to wash and blow dry because they want to take as many clients as they can in one day. However, when you do things like this, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to sacrifice your position as a well-known hairstylist, a good quality hairstylist, a hairstylist that specializes in certain things for temporary satisfaction of a Chanel bag? And the right answer is no, but so many people are saying yes. I had a great salon experience the other day, and I went to an actual salon, and it was relaxing and reassuring to know that every little detail that my hair needed, my stylist was able to do. And this was for my natural hair. But I vetted her out to make sure that I was getting a wash and blow dry included with my service and that she was an ethical and business-oriented stylist. So let's wake up this idea of ethics and just professionalism. I do believe that the money aspect of this conversation is where people are most outraged. However, I do think that because we have created the serial entrepreneurship movement, everybody is hopping into starting a business or having a brand, especially beauty related, and it doesn't translate to good business practices and professional business etiquette at all times. By that, I mean, some of y'all are rude as hell. Some of y'all don't know how to talk, don't know how to type, and don't know how to deal with people. And as a model director myself, I have learned that it is completely difficult. Probably one of the most hardest things that you have to do in life is deal with people. People can be late, people can be needy, people can have dumb excuses, people can ask dumb questions, people can disrespect you, people can diminish or belittle you, people can say things to hurt your reputation. It's hard to deal with people. Trust me, I'm dealing with women ages 18 to 29 all at the same time every week. It is hard. However, you have to learn how to play poker. I always tell my girls, I don't play chess, I don't play checkers, I play poker. And by that, I mean, you keep a poker face and you just learn how to play your card without emotions, reactions, or conflict. Because the customer is not always right, but the customer is always right in regards to whether you're going to make money that day or not. So the best thing you can do in business is to take out your personal ways of being quick to snap at somebody or putting all your business on your business page or trying to out certain clients because they inconvenienced you. You don't know how many times I would like to cut up on some of the rappers, photographers, venue or studio owners that I have to deal with in being a model director, let alone the different models that I have come in contact with over the past year. One of them even tried to fight me last summer. So you're gonna deal with wild things when you're dealing with people. But you as a service provider cannot in turn around and do something or say something that's gonna make you miss out on your money or ruin your reputation. And it's like some of the stylists and nail techs and lash techs and brow waxers and everything in between don't remember that they're trying to start a brand or have a business and that they can't act like their customers. So many times I've seen service providers going off on their Instagram or Facebook story to make general addresses to current and potential customers because one person made them mad that day. You look stupid as hell writing on your story to address how somebody showed up late and how you're now implementing a $30 late fee after 10 minutes because your time is so precious. We know that. And it sucks that you're dealing with people who don't have a sense of professionalism. But at the end of the day, you're the brand. Stop addressing people on your stories and your Facebook posts. It will literally never make me come to you. If I see any hairstylist having to disrespectfully, first and foremost, put out public service announcements about certain clients or certain new policies or certain incidents, I'm just going to keep scrolling because all you have to do is update your policies and respectfully let people know that you have new rules and regulations and that they should be privy to them or aware of them or even encourage them to read the terms and conditions that you have set out for yourself. I don't understand why some people get smart or feel the need to argue with a customer when you can literally just get another customer. But if you make the customer unhappy because they did something, or even you did something, or they said something and you responded in a certain way, that customer has all the power to mess up your money. And don't let a YouTuber be the customer that you play with, because we see these makeup artists and hairstylists and so forth go viral on social media because a customer outed them and it went viral, and now they're being dragged for the filth. And most times it does benefit the stylist or the service provider because now they have more exposure. But that is what you call clout chasing inflation, where everybody runs to book a service to see what you're about because you went viral for a bad reason, but it dies down after a month and you're back where you started with that bad reputation still on your name. It's never worth it, especially when you're supposed to be garnering money and helping clients feel beautiful and not break the bank. Speaking of breaking the bank, let's talk about prices. The pricing for certain services that used to cost a certain price back in the day has gone up higher than today's gas prices. And part of that is having to maintain this luxurious lifestyle that is so desired by so many people. And the other half of it is this ideology of people encouraging business owners to charge their worth, and the infamous quote, "Today's price is not yesterday's price." And I have to ask, like I did in my monologue, under what merit? Okay, I want to know what is possessing hairstylists to change their prices and increase their income, and it not being because of reasonable factors. For example, there was a girl who does hair in the city that I work in who posted on Facebook at the beginning of January of this year saying that she's raising her prices for the new year just because it's a new year. That doesn't make a slick of sense. However, there's so many hairstylists that just because a blood cell moves in their body or a social media personality told them to, or they get gassed up because they did one semi-important person's head, they raise their prices. You can't just raise your prices just because. It has to make sense. It has to make sense. It has to make sense, okay? It has to make sense. It must make sense though, okay? Just to make sense. Something reasonable would be upgraded equipment, differences in your commute to a client, if you truly did get better at your work, and so forth. But the price for a quick weave that is glued onto a stocking cap that, if we're being real, even with no background hair knowledge, you can slap on a quick weave yourself. Let's not act like a quick weave possesses extreme difficulty. I'm not negating the technicalities and the placement and the proper molding process that it takes to do it, but I don't think it's fair to say that it's something that you can only get done in a salon. So prices have to be reflective of your quality, your experience, your products, as well as your time. Yet, stylists have begun to have their prices reflect their lifestyle that they want to uphold, and I just don't agree with that. We are losing the art of beauty in regards to hair and Black culture as a profession. I will never shy away from the fact that Black people created, enforced, and made trends out of cornrows, braids, natural styling, sew-ins, and so forth. But I don't want going to the salon to be seen as a luxury or a thing of the past, because so many stylists are not humbling themselves and understanding that they're still service providers outside of whatever influence that they may have or want. I also wanted to add that a lot of people think that this only occurs in stylists who specialize or primarily do services with extensions. So wigs, pieces, tape-ins, ponytails, and so forth. But I definitely think that the natural hair community is one of the biggest perpetrators of this. Because natural hair is still on the transition back into how prominent we wear our natural hair as women, it's really seen as a luxury to get your natural hair done. And we all know that natural Black hair takes a lot more TLC, but I still don't agree that a wash, press, and curl should cost a third of your rent. I think most people are upset with the pricing because we do understand it's hard out here for everybody. It's definitely hard out here for a pimp named Slickback. But there has to be a reasonable indication of your prices that makes people want to patronize you because you're reasonably affordable or you're reasonably expensive, if you will. I also think it's a little bit dumb for people to change their prices just because they did a celebrity's hair. To a certain degree, I understand, but at the same time, I don't understand, because that's all about your clientele and not how well you can do hair. There are a lot of girls on YouTube that really know how to do hair and they're not licensed, but they can slap down a lace frontal just as good as Arrogant Tay. But you'll have some hairstylists that just because they worked with Beyonce's backup dancer, they decided that they're going to do a 200% increase on their pricing. That's just ridiculous. To me, most of the stuff that is happening is because hairstylists are everyday people just like you and I, and because the focus on vanity is so expedited at the moment, we are all suckers getting licked to remain trendy and pretty in the eyes of society, especially when it comes to Black culture. To be considered a bad bitch or an it girl, you have to have a 13x6 lace frontal that is 40 inches long and 250% density that costed you almost $800, if not more. And because of that, stylists are finessing the hell out of a lot of people by realizing that so many people are willing to spend a lot on their looks that there's room for a big return and social benefit. I'm not really sure if I can call that finessing, because the market of any industry is going to make an impression on the price of things, but let's be real. A lot of these stylists are really taking taking advantage of the current state of girly girl society. I used to get braids as a kid. My mom did not play that weave shit. I didn't get my first real sewing until like the end of 9th grade. And it could only be 14 inches. She was gonna make me get a 12-inch, but because I was tall, she gave me an extra 2 inches. My sister wasn't allowed to get more than 12 inches, and it had to be a full sewing, no leave out, no baby hairs, no none of that. Just a nice wiggy helmet. Story of my young African first daughter life. So with me, I just figured out how to make it work independently because I didn't have the luxury of money to spend on hair back then, and definitely really wasn't even allowed to go to the salon for real unless it was for braids. So I did a lot of independent work to find what works for me, but I do enjoy going to the salon and don't want to keep breaking the bank for really no reason at all other than aiding somebody to keep up with society's materialistic and flex culture. My solution would actually be to learn how to do a lot of things with your hair and only go to the salon for necessities or for when you want to treat yourself. I obviously wouldn't recommend taking black hairstylists out of business. However, if consumers go on like a mini strike of just limiting the amount of times they visit the salon, some stylists who are participating in malpractice would have no option but to retract from some of these outrageous new methods because it doesn't make the beauty community look good. I understand we're in a new era in which your looks really matter, but you're not going to get points for being unprofessional, charging outrageous prices, and not even doing the work that is necessary to maintain somebody's look. I want this video to be a place where clients and customers and consumers can express their grievances while also giving solution-based responses that can help a lot of these new service providers actually create a strong reputation and brand for themselves. More people are inclined to support you when they respect you, you're likable, you're reasonably priced, and you provide a full service from head to toe. So yes, a lot of these stylists have lost their minds, but I do want to help them find their minds by saying, let's resort back to traditional hairstyling and just do hair. The charades with social media and the yearning to be the next arrogant Tay isn't for everybody. You can't force that upon yourself just because you have the talent to do hair. Let your work speak for itself. Capitalize off of your talent, but don't in turn ruin your reputation and put out bad quality services for clout or for a check. Run a business that is ethical and reasonable, and you'll see the benefits that come with being a good service provider. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, please follow me on all of my social media networks, especially my Instagram, because I'm about to keep doing some more rants on there, okay? I know y'all gonna like it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.
One time for the melanin girls, can pop it in the sun. Let me hear you one time. Baby, let me hear you one time. Yeah, 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 yeah. One time for the African girls, and you know we get it done. Let me hear